Hello, fellow writers. My name's Ulysses. I am writing live every day if I can this November for NaNoWRIMO 2023. As of today, I have 22,000 words with some change. So I'm very excited to keep on going. And today's talk is going to be relatively small. But if any of these talks that I'm posting or any of the streams are interesting to you, please subscribe. Click on the links in the bottom. Follow me on Twitter because I am going to be trying to post useful writing stuff every day, or at least provide a space so that if you just need like a companion in writing on stream, I will be right there. So I'm live on the weekdays 5 p.m. and then on the weekends, it's weekends and Friday. It's more laissez-faire, if you will. But let's get to our topic today. Today's topic is called Passivity is Your Enemy. This is a problem that I had a lot when I was getting my writing education in college, because I was so interested in the stuff happening around the characters because I liked world building so much that I neglected to think about the characters' actions themselves, and this led to a particular problem. A common problem that novice and amateur writers run into is that the stuff around the character is so cool and so interesting and so active that we neglect to make our characters and our protagonists active players in their own stories. So often it feels like we're writing stories about the stuff that happens to the character versus what we should be focusing on, which is the stuff the character does and the stuff that ensues because of that. There's a difference, because the point of origin of change should always be primarily motivated by our protagonists. What this means is that as cool as we have the world around our characters, right, we have to always make sure that our characters are not taking a passive role in their stories. Passivity creates for lackluster characters. Now, I want to preface this by saying that of course, there's variations to every kind of storytelling, and there's not a right way to do it. But choices and their consequences make for interesting storytelling. It creates that link, that cause and effect that gets readers to turn pages. There are a couple of ways that you can make sure that your characters are always doing something. One is a topic we've already talked about, flaws. Our characters are often full of flaws, and them succumbing to a flaw and then doing something to satisfy that flaw or to satisfy their urge, and then consequences being led after it, which causes a whole string of events. That is one way to create kind of plot. Is that because of the consequences of my actions, I have to do this. Now, because of the consequences of those actions, I choose to do this. But then those create those consequences that I have to deal with that, right? Already, we're creating like story, and it's cool. Passivity has a place in storytelling, and it is when we choose to be passive rather than not act. And that is a choice in and of itself that you can try to execute, right? It's kind of the difference is a person walks down the street, they don't see that there's like a person being beat up, so they don't really ever have the choice. They just get in their car, walk back, a car hits them, it's really sad, and then they go home. Right? There's nothing that the character inherently did that, created the consequence of getting hit by a car, but then they went home. Like, there's no story. It's just like an event that happened. But you don't want your story to be an event that happened. You want it to be a series of choices that your character makes, and then because of those consequences and because of those choices, they have to do other things now. Like, that is far more interesting. So like the forced passivity would be like choosing passivity looks like this. Guy walks down the street. He sees that there is a person being beat up. He looks at it, and then he looks away and keeps on going. Yes, he's taking a passive role because he's trying not to be the hero, but he's made the choice. And now this is more interesting, right? Because now this guy feels guilty. Maybe he's thinking about how the boy was being, like the person was being beat up and bruised, and then a car hits him, right? And then now he's incapacitated. And then throughout all of that, because he was distracted, now he's in this hospital bed thinking, oh my God, like, is this where the kid is as well? Is he going to be okay? Is he here? And then what if, like, while he's sitting in the chair of the hospital for like his injuries, he looks at the next bed and he sees like the guy that was being beat up on like the bed kind of relatively close to him, and the guy recognizes him. All of a sudden, like, the story is far more interesting with the choice of being passive, because you've made a choice, you know? So yeah, that's today's talk. Passivity is your enemy. You always want your characters to be active agents of change, or to make active decisions that create consequences so you make plot. Never have your characters be passive, unless it is a choice. So that is for today's talk. If any of this helps you at all, I'm going to be posting every day, so please subscribe, follow. I also do gaming stuff as well, because I'm a variety streamer as well. I like talking about game stories, but I like also just having a good time. So thank you so much. Stay writing, and let's get to 50K, guys. 50K.